Morning Geeks, Jeffrey Powers here with another brand new show on Facebook Live. It's called, simply put, Morning Geeks. And just so you know, first of all, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek, and you've got me, and of course the show here. So thank you for coming to the first inaugural Morning Geeks. We got a small little bit here before we get going. Want to make sure everything's up and running, looking good. Want to check my CPU rate, looking good. We're recording. We're actually going live on Facebook. This is the first Facebook live show I am doing. So welcome, and of course this will also be on other channels as well. You'll be able to see this on the on Geekazine through the podcast channels and everything like that. So how does this work? Well, Morning Geeks is going to be a once a week live show which you can watch on Facebook. With your morning coffee. I got my morning coffee right here. And we'll spend about 15 minutes together. We'll be enjoying things, and you won't just see, it won't be just a talking head. Don't worry about that. I've got news articles set up. We've got some music set up. We've got some cool stuff that I know you're going to love, and we're going to go from there. So, need to check one thing here while I am doing this, because I don't want you to see that just yet. See, I've already made a mistake. Isn't that nice? It's awesome because, that's how that works. So anyway, we'll hold that and we'll do that and we'll go there. Okay. Perfect. So here's how it's going to work. It's going to be basic news. It's going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have little segments as we're going on in the future here. But the big thing is if you want to contribute to the show, all you have to do is let me know. You can Twitter me over at Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put into Geek, or geekazine@gmail.com. And tell me how you want to contribute. Maybe you want to do a couple-minute video review or anything like that. We're going to have products coming on. Like, for instance, I'm going to show you this right now. This is the Titan toughest cable on Earth. I got it this week, and it's the iPhone cable. So they want me to test that out, so I'm going to be testing it out. But from the looks of it, it's like a steel cable. It looks like something that you put underneath your sink to get the cold water going. And the idea is your cat can bite into this, your dog can bite into this, and you're still going to have an iPhone cable at the end. Everything proof, as they call it, great for travel. Not so much, I don't know, because it's kind of metal. I don't know, that's kind of, and it's a little bit heavier. So, but we'll be talking about that in reviews and go from there. So, all right, without any further ado, let's cue the music and show you what's going on with Morning Geeks for this week. That's the music right there. What do you think of the music? Good? Okay. All right, we're going to start by saying AMC has decided to ruin your movie-going experience completely by allowing cell phone use. While you probably still have to put the phone on silent mode, you will be able to text and watch your second screen while you pay over $30 a person to watch the first screen. CEO Adam Aron admits they don't know how it's going to happen just yet, but it will be happening. Now, I went to see a movie last year, and it was filled with teens on a school trip who didn't even care about pulling their phones out to use. It kind of made for a very distracted movie on my part. Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt were on at CinemaCon in Vegas promoting their new sci-fi thriller Passengers. It's a story where two people wake up from a 120-year suspended animation sleep, so while they travel to a new planet. So basically, Jennifer Lawrence can write a novel about it. Now, Chris Pratt apparently wakes up 30 years in, and then it gets in kind of creepy mode. But so it's going to be more of a dramatic sci-fi, but we'll see what happens here. Passengers will hit theaters on December 21st. Where are we? That's not where we are. There we are. Check this out. Has Nessie been found? Well, not really. The long-lost Loch Ness Monster prop was finally found in the depths of the Scottish lake. Now, it was a 98-foot prop for the 1969 movie The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, which sank during filming, and Sherlock Holmes couldn't figure out how to bring it back. The remains were found by a Norwegian company, Kongsberg Maritime, using their own underwater robot. So we've got to really be concerned about a robot rising, a Loch Ness robot rising, coming very, very soon. So that's a little bit scary right there.
What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
The first Star Wars Rogue One trailer came out earlier this week. The story is based right before Episode 4. A group of rebels set out on a mission to steal the plans for the first Death Star. Felicity Jones, Mads Mikkelsen, Alan Tudyk, and Forrest Whitaker lead a solid cast of characters.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
Speaking of Star Wars, they finally explained why C-3PO had a red arm in The Force Awakens. It's actually a tribute to a droid who gave his life to save 3PO. The story is in the graphic novel Star Wars C-3PO #1 by James Robinson, Tony Harris, and Joe Caramagna.
How about our other recruit?
He's raring to go. Had to put a little coffee in him, but he should be good.
Entertainment Weekly gives us the first look at Baron Helmut Zemo from Captain America Civil War. The actor is Daniel Bruhl, but he looks like a young Emilio Estevez in this shot. Baron Zemo is the main instigator, breaking up our heroes like Jesse Eisenberg did in Batman vs. Superman. Of course, this movie will have a ton of cameos, including Spider-Man himself.
What if this panel sends us somewhere we don't think we should go? What if there's somewhere we need to go and they don't let us? We may not be perfect, but the safest hands are still our own.
If we don't do this now, it's going to be done to us later.
We probably won't find out about how the iPhone was hacked into, but the Washington Post says the professional hacker used an unknown security flaw to crack into the phone. One source believes it has to do with the battery. The U.S. government now has to decide whether or not to reveal the flaw to Apple. But in all reality, now that the knowledge of the flaw is out there, Apple will be working hard in closing that door, with or without the government's help. Tesla Easter egg brings Mario Kart to the car. The latest update pushed the Model S and X over the weekend with this feature. If you activated autopilot 4 times in quick succession, you will see a rainbow road over a boring gray road, which is what you would normally see. More Easter eggs coming very, very soon, including more cowbell one. Anyway, finally, did you see that magic face swap? Wrong one here. Magic face swap here. There it is. Of course, FaceSwap is an app that you can find over at FaceSwap Live, where you can take a photo of two people, then swap their faces. You can even take video, which this is apparently a fun little bug, and people are finding different things. People's faces looking like different things. I just saw one last night of two people on a plane. Instead of the FaceSwap catching the faces, it caught the overhead light and fan system and thought it was a face, and face swapped one person with that. So that was kind of fun. So where are your face swap bugs and Easter eggs? Let me know by tweeting me over at Geekazine. And that does it for this episode of Morning Geeks, episode number 1, the inaugural episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. If you're listening after the live broadcast, let me know. Tell me where you're listening from and watching from, and go from there. If you want to be part of the show, all you have to do is let me know. Twitter me over at Geekazine, facebook.com/Geekazine, or geekazine@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for watching. This has been Morning Geeks, episode 1, and we'll see you next week with another episode of Morning Geeks. Geek out, folks.